Good morning from the Church of the Resurrection. Resurrection? We know that church by the name the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Church of the Holy Tomb. That is true. But if you are Orthodox, you know that the story is not about the Holy Tomb. The story is about the Holy Empty Tomb and actually about the resurrection. Then the Greek Orthodox called that beautiful and important church the Church of the Resurrection. And today, which is something like the mid of May 2022, we are honoring you, of course, but we're honoring a family from Melbourne, Australia. And it's Chris, Lisa, Priscilla, Angelina the Theodorou. We're gonna have a lovely tour in the church Sunday, the day of the resurrection. But this time we will try to talk more about the Greek Orthodox Church. But don't worry, if you're not Greek Orthodox, we will talk about you as well. Now, before we will talk about what's happening inside the church, let's talk about what's happening outside the church. Here and there, and you will see that at the church itself, they started to renovate the floor of the church. And this is a problem. First of all, look at the floor. You can see that it's from different times, and some of them are broken, some of them are not, and who actually deal with it. For that, you must understand the situation of that church. That church belongs to Greek Orthodox, Armenian, Catholic, Latin, Roman Latin, and added the Armenians. I think I mentioned Armenians, the Copts, the Ethiopians, that the entrance to their chapel, to their churches, is from here. Add to it, the Church of Syria, this is a Syrian church. Then this is not a regular church. In their place, Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and resurrected. And most of the Christians, besides some of the Protestants, accepting that this is the site. And you can understand that if that's the most important place in the world, the Christian world, then many of the Christians will try to have some part of their church. And in that case, their church is not a regular church. Their church belongs to so many. If you're going to a Greek Orthodox church, if you're going to a Pravoslav church, you're going to a Pravoslav church or Greek Orthodox church or Armenian church. But that church belongs to everyone. Then in that matter, let's enter to visit the church on Sunday. And I want you to understand the facade that you see here is mainly from the end of the 11th century and 12th century. The church itself was built by St. Helena at the 4th century. Let us enter to the church. Let's climb up to the Golgotha. We're going to climb up from the Catholic part, but we will actually leave the Golgotha from the Greek Orthodox part. Now, this is the Catholic part. The other side belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church. Remember, a a lot of places that belongs to everyone, then in that case, let's talk about the Catholic part. In the Catholic part, you can see some of the Via Dolorosa stations. The Via Dolorosa stations are the stations that Jesus walked with his cross. The Bible mentions a few of them. Today we have around 14 stations, and the Greek Orthodox lately started to follow the Catholic Via Dolorosa. For me, it's beautiful because I believe that they are not supposed to have a lot of differences between Christians themselves. Then in that case, here you can see where they nail him to the cross. Then Chris, Lisa, Priscilla, Angelina the Theodorou. This is the Golgotha, the Calvary. This is the hill that Jesus was crucified on. Today there's a lot of people here, but I wanted to be on Sunday because we are talking about the resurrection church. Still, you will see a lot. Then let's leave the Catholic part, but not before you can see a beautiful Crusader mosaic. This is the only part that's left inside the church, or almost the only mosaic that's left inside the church. Other side is the crucifixion place, and although I already blessed the cross at the Calvary, I want us to talk about it. And here it is. Two of the most important sites in the church belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church. This is one of them. This is where Jesus was crucified. You can see here the cross and John to the right, Mary to the left. And while Jesus was on the cross, he asked John to take care of his mother. Another thing that it's difficult now to see is the bedrock, because now you can see it. The bedrock of the Golgotha. And I will sneak in just to bless it on the Golgotha. Later on, dear family, I will light a candle for you. You see that on top of Jesus' cross there are 4 letters in 3 different languages. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. We're leaving the Golgotha now, but not before the Theodorou family, I want you to see how beautiful is the art of the Holy Week. Talking about the Greek Orthodox art, you can see nailing to the cross here. Saint Simon helping Jesus to carry the cross. Jesus following all Saint Veronica scene as well. Jesus kiss. Praying along at the Garden of Gethsemane. That mosaic was built or created by the Greek Orthodox Church as well. And it just came from the Golgotha. According to the Christians, Jesus was crucified at the Golgotha place that it is. We think that the Golgotha, which is in Hebrew and Aramaic skull, might be a place of a skull or looks like a skull. Sadly, beside Holy Bible, we don't have any evidence for the existence of it, that we don't know if it was in the shape of a skull or just because so many people have been crucified there by the Romans, you could see some bones and skulls. You can see that it was outside the city. You can see the city walls around it, and Jesus was crucified with another three. Next to him is Nicodemus with a green nose, and the red one above with the beard is just Joseph of Arimathea, who gave Jesus his own tomb, and John the disciple is still next to him, together with the women. The mother, of course, Mary and Mary Magdalene. Let me show you another Greek Orthodox chapel beneath the Golgotha. And this is Adam Chapel. We actually have been here. Actually, we've been there. This is another part of the Golgotha. There are Chris, Lisa, Priscilla, and Angelina. I'm blessing you here as well. This is Adam Chapel. Adam Chapel, we believe that was the first man ever, Adam and Eve. And we know that when he died on the cross, the earth shook. And you can see part of the creek right here. And tears of blood fell through that creek, and people resurrected. And according to what we believe, Adam was one of them. Then another beautiful Greek Orthodox chapel. Let's continue with our last hours of Jesus in a way, before the resurrection. And you can see in front of you a stone. That stone belongs to Greek Orthodox as well, together with the Catholic and others. And what we believe is that Jesus was, after he died, they laid him on that stone like the Jewish tradition, and they purified his body. Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb, and it's very important to understand that the tomb that we will see is so close to the Golgotha. And yes, we know from the book of John that the garden of Joseph of Arimathea, which it was, will be the tomb of Jesus, was next to the Golgotha. Then they wrapped him with linen and buried him. John, the disciple, the beloved one, Mary, the mother, the other Marys, see even the name of the crucifixion. Then according to what we believe, this is the stone. Then in that case, the energy of Christ is there. And that's why people are kissing it, blessing it, taking the souvenirs that they bought and bless it. They're bringing some pictures of their families, or even clothes of the families, and bless it as well.
Oh, what's that? What is it? Mirror. Can I take? Can I take? Is it allowed to put me?
You know the mirror of the woman.
Can I take a little?
Can I take a little bit?
No, just drop.
It's for everybody.
Thank you very much.
So like this? Lindo.
The smell is amazing.
I did not know.
Fix the model.
Padre, mija, venga por la mano.
Oh, the smell is absolutely lovely. The Theodorou family, I hope that the smell will stay on the cross until you will get it, and even later than that. Look what's happening here. This is the tomb of Jesus, but because another Greek Orthodox place is open now, then first let me go to that place, because we are dealing with Orthodox traditions, and then we will deal with the tomb. Don't worry. This is the Catholicon, which is the most important basilica of the cathedral of the Greek Orthodox. I'm sure that the Theodorou family, you're feeling at home now. But let's explain the others who are not Greek Orthodox. What is, at least some of the differences between, let's say, Catholic Church to Greek Orthodox Church. Then first, you can see that there's a wall of icons. And that wall tells us something very important. The other side of the wall is where the priests are connecting straight with God. That's where they prepare the holy bread. And only then they're going out of the church, or the iconostasis, the wall of icons, and the people are standing here, and as you can see in the Greek Orthodox Church, it's so rare to find some seats. People are usually standing here. Look how beautiful is the dome with Jesus on the top, and the chandelier symbolizes Jerusalem in heaven. There are 12 gates to Jerusalem in heaven, and I think, if I'm not wrong, this is a present from the Tsar. But although it's such an amazing church, the most important part of their church is that this is not less than the center of the world. And you know what? Let me put it right here. Let me walk around it. Lovely. In front of you is not less than the tomb of Jesus. Such an amazing, just an amazing thing. Let's talk a little bit about it. And let me tell you that although I will bless it later on inside the tomb of Jesus, I won't be able to enter with the cross. With the camera. With the cross I will enter. Then later on I will do it. It's not allowed to take pictures and videos now when there are so many people. But don't worry, I will bless it. For the rest that ask me or want to ask me how should you get your crosses, let me tell you that there are a few different crosses that you can actually buy from my site, and I will bless it and prepare a video just like that. I will upload it to YouTube, and of course that I will send the cross to your house. And this time it's to Melbourne, Australia. How should you know how much it costs or where can you buy it? Then go to the description of that video, which is below the video, and you will look for the link for Buy Me a Coffee, and the information is there. If you want find that link, just send me a message via YouTube here, and I will send you the link for it, and it's not going to be a problem. Now, Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb, and in own tomb is a cave, and later on, if it will be open, I will show you a burial site like that. But if there is something that I can say about the tomb of Jesus, is that tomb been destroyed so many times that not a lot left from it beside the side, and some of the tomb himself. Then they built beautiful edicula, kind of a structure, kind of a small temple on top of it, and what you see now is the modern one. It's been renovated a few years ago, and it's divided into two. The first part, and you will see the holy fire from Holy Saturday. It is where the angels took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. The second part is the tomb himself, which is empty, and I promised that later on, look what's happening now, that is a line of half an hour. I will be here until 6, and at 6 p.m., 1800 hours, it's totally empty. Then in that case, it's not going to be a problem at all. Now it's a tourist time. Then let me show you what we can see from there. You can see the holy fire. The table that you see there belongs to the Greek Orthodox, just like the rest of the edicula. And the inner part is the tomb itself. Remember when we started the tour, when we talked about the works that they are doing right here, then, although there's a sign no entry, I can always tell you that it's, I don't know if you can actually see it from here, or you will let me show you. You can see that it already took some of the floor from there, and they are first excavating beneath, and then they will turn back the stones, and they didn't decide it yet what to do with it, but that is the plan. If it's going to be new stones, new pavements or not, big question. For example, if we're talking about that part is now open, then you can see that some of the stones are already here. And this is an agreement between the Greek Orthodox, Armenian and Catholic. If you need to do something in the public area that belongs to everyone, you need an agreement for that. They're excavating, checking every inch of it, and that can be a dirt for, let's say, 4th century. Magnificent, isn't it? Theodorou family, you're a witness to a miracle. The 3 denominations agree to do something good for the church. I entered to here because that usually part is closed, and I wanted to see what's going on. I promise you to visit another tomb or a real tomb like that, but from the time of Jesus. That tomb never been destroyed because it wasn't the tomb of Jesus, and that's why the enemies didn't mind about it. What you can see here is a tomb with niches. I will talk about it later on because I don't want to disturb the monks. Now the niches that you saw and the cave, which is right here, is a tomb, a Jewish tomb from the 1st century. Now look how beautiful it is. From the time of Jesus. Then what you saw there? What you saw there is a cave. The church was built on top of it, but they kept the cave as well, and there were niches to put the bodies in. And now there are 5 niches there, and what will happen to the 6th body? There's no place for it. Then they will open the oldest niche, and they will take the bones out, put it in a small artery, and then they will bury the new dead man in it. Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb that no one touched before Theodorou family. Then in that case, he gave Jesus that tomb, and what we believe is that he built himself another tomb next to his master, next to Jesus. But now you know why the Bible mentioned that no one used the tomb. And you know now that the tomb itself is very close to the crucifixion place. Then let's continue to see another Greek Orthodox chapels in the Church of the Annunciation, the Church of the Resurrection. On the way you will see the Catholic chapel that marked the place that Mary met Jesus on Sunday. That is the place that Mary Magdalene was standing, and that is the place that Jesus was standing on Sunday. This is Sunday, the resurrection day. And we're leaving now the tomb, to our promise to bless it inside the tomb. I was here early morning, but I didn't enter the church. And now it's a little bit too late. Anyhow, I cannot take a video of it, but I'm going to be here for a long time. The next place that belongs to the Greek Orthodox is the prison. You can see one of the symbols of the Greek Orthodox. The eagle with the two heads. That is where Jesus was put in the jail, in prison, when he reached the Golgotha. But you know, I don't know about you, but I don't know about Australia, I don't know about the United States, but here it always takes time. Then in that case, they had to put him in prison somewhere. Then according to what we believe, he was right here. If you like that video, I will ask you to subscribe my channel. And when you push the button, there is a kind of a bell if you want to see the newest videos of mine. And if you want to support my channel, you can do that by me a coffee or by PayPal, and that's at the description as well. You can ask for the link, I will send it to you. Then look at the two holes. You can see in the painting the idea of it. The legs were there. He was tied to those two columns, and he was waiting for his crucifixion, as I believe, together with the two thieves, the good one and the bad one. If there is an icon that I love, is the icon of Jesus right here. Even here you can see Jerusalem in heaven. And if it's okay by you, I want to go to more places that connected to the Greek Orthodox, but not only. Here, right here, you can see St. Helen, which is a very important saint in the Greek Orthodox Church, together with Constantine, that converted the emperor, the Roman emperor, into Christians. Then you can see here, looking at the cross that they found very close to here, and this is the true cross. Sadly, it's not part of the Greek Orthodox Church now. That the painting is right here, but the site is down there, and if it's okay by you, I want to visit it. There are two more chapels of the Greek Orthodox here. Why there are so many chapels? Because in the Muslim time, it wasn't so allowed to visit the city all the time. Then in that case, they had to do everything indoors. And this is the chapel of the spear. The Holy Spear. Remember? The Roman soldier touched the body of Jesus with the spear, and he saw water and blood. And let's go to the Armenian chapel and the Catholic chapel, but it is important for me because St. Helen is so important to the Greek Orthodox Church. You can see two walls, one from 11th century, one is from 12th century. Look at so many graffitis on it. This time, won't stop at the Armenian chapel, will go straight to St. Helen Chapel to see where they found the three crosses. One of them was the true cross. Today it belonged to the Catholic. That is where they found the three crosses. I will put the cross here to bless it, Theodorou family. But let's talk about what actually been here. At the 4th century, at around 335, they opened the church for the visitors after they built it. 4th century. It's not many years after the resurrection of Jesus. Then here you can see St. Helen holding the cross. They took it to here, and she found three crosses. Remember that Jesus was crucified with another two. They took a sick Jewish woman. The first cross, no, touch her, nothing happened. The second cross began, and the third cross, you already know, that woman was cured. Then that's what they found then. But let's talk about that chapel, because this is the most historical place of the church. The church was built in the 4th century, but until the time of King Herod, until he died, that used to be a quarry. They used the stones to build the city and the temple. You can see part of it. And after he died, the place was used by the Jews to be as a burial site, because it's very easy to excavate here. Remember, we saw the burial tomb, burial cave. And they used it as a water system as well. Look at the buckets above us, and you can see even the plaster that cover the walls. Another beautiful thing to see here is the fresco of the crucifixion from 12th century. And this is not the last Greek Orthodox chapel. And don't say goodbye yet. Did you subscribe my channel? Lisa, Priscilla, Angelina, did you do that? Oh, only Chris is is part of the family. I do have almost, I must say, 20,000 videos of the Holy Land, and you can actually deal with so many subjects of the Holy Land. And we're saying goodbye to that beautiful Armenian chapel, and we're gonna climb up. Right. Another Greek Orthodox chapel. That is where we will live. The stone that Jesus was sitting on while the Roman soldiers laughed at him, mocked him, beat him. Difficult to see it now, but that camera is quite good at dark areas. You can see that they're putting the tone of horn on him. And here, Pilate washed his hand, and he already dressed in a royal clothes. You can see them red maroon. So you will see that he already knows that place. This is part of the Golgotha. And other chapel is to your left. And the igniting stone. And the mosaic are here as well. Yes, it smells like more excellent smell. We are leaving now the church. You see that it's a sunny day. And then thank you very much. Beautiful day in Jerusalem, and see you in my next video. And God bless Chris, Lisa, Priscilla, Angelina, the family of the Theodorou family. Bye-bye.